Thanks for joining me for this overview of peer review of Major Essay 2. We're going to talk about the importance of topic sentences for this particular structural assignment, scaffold available to you through the outline, a reminder about the importance of P's body paragraph parts, and then we'll get to the details of the actual peer review. I love this image as a way of thinking about how topic sentences relate to your thesis statement. So I know the vocabulary can be a little confusing, but your thesis statement is the sentence at the end of your introduction that lays out your whole essay. It's the whole foundation. So in this case, you can see in the visual, it's the whole trampoline. Then the dog's bouncing on the trampoline, and it's bouncing on the thesis statement, but in a little bit different place each time. And that's what your topic sentences do. They bounce off that thesis statement idea, but in a little bit different place. Check out the outline again for this assignment. I know sometimes it can be overwhelming in an online class how much written direction there is, but this has a reminder of the different kinds of body paragraphs that are required for this assignment. And also, just looking, I know this is a very probably small, blurry image for you, but when you look at the yellow parts that are highlighted in the outline, that's a reminder for you that those are the key elements of our essay. Right? We have our thesis showing up there at the end of the intro paragraph. Then we have our topic sentence at the first body paragraph. And then our keyword strategy. How are we going to remind our audience that this paragraph is bouncing off of the idea that we originated in the thesis for our whole paper? We're going to continue developing our skills with using the strategy of P's body paragraphs. P's is the mnemonic to help remind us of the parts of a body paragraph. So this isn't the intro or the conclusion, but these are the paragraphs that are showing up in the middle or the body of your paper. So the P part of P's is point, and that's the main point of your paragraph. That's found in your topic sentence, that first sentence, ideally, at the beginning of your body paragraph. And we have the evidence. For Major Essay 1, our evidence was our own experience, and you are welcome to continue to do that with the rest of our papers this semester. But what we're adding for Major Essay 2 is how to use quotes, maybe how to talk about using data, or those other examples that you're finding in the ideas of the sources that are provided for this essay. The analysis will be a little bit more specific because we're now using these outside source ideas and quotes, because in analysis, that's when we're explaining how the evidence supports our point of the paragraph. You want to summarize it briefly and then explain how the evidence supports your point. And that can be a little bit more difficult when you're dealing with source material. I find sometimes maybe people get a little nervous or a little rushed, and what can happen is they'll drop evidence or a quote into a paragraph, and then their analysis part is too brief. It'll be something like, "And that's a great idea," or "I agree completely with the author." But for real, true, strong analysis, you want to be showing your reader that you understand the point that was just made in that quote that you dropped in as evidence in the paragraph. So your analysis is maybe summarizing it, maybe offering another example to show that you understand what the evidence is saying, reflecting on it, right? Applying it to your larger idea in the paragraph. So those things will help me understand that as the reader, that you understand what the evidence is that you've just used. And then at the end of your paragraph, you're going to have a summary sentence. That's an opportunity to reinforce the main idea of the paragraph, to make sure that you're closing that loop, that you're relating the paragraph topic back to your thesis statement idea. I've seen a lot of instances where maybe the paragraph looks like it's getting off topic, but bam, in that summary sentence, it brings it all back onto message. For the peer review itself, it's going to be structurally the same as it was with Major Essay 1. You will be reviewing two people who posted after you, and there's a little diagram, little schematic to help you understand that in the weekly folder. But one of the main things I wanted to go over here is that a key goal we're working on is that creation of the topic sentence that gives an overview of the paragraph. And and since we're adding source material now, as you're looking at people's papers, be making sure that what they're talking about in their topic sentence is also reflected in some way in their evidence, because this is a new way that things can get a little bit scattered. For each peer review, you need to answer these questions. Which was the strongest topic sentence in the paper? Why is it the strongest? Which topic sentence could be improved? How could it be improved? So the reflection questions that are coming second are almost more important, because both for the person you're reviewing and for yourself, because as we get more and more thoughtful in our writing process, as you can articulate why something is awesome or why it needs to be improved and how to do that, that's when we're getting to the actual part of the revision editing process, which is going to make everybody's writing move to the next level. So the second half of these topics are super, super important. Right. So, which body paragraph has the strongest P's technique and what makes it so awesome? Which has the weakest P's and how could it be strengthened? Please keep in mind, like last time, and I didn't see people doing this, but saying nothing can be improved is not an acceptable review. So, even if it's something that's amazing, the best thing you've ever written, you can still, on a scale, right, you can still say which is strongest and which is weakest. You can tell somebody what is working specifically for you and why it's great. This is all very, very helpful feedback. Sometimes helpful feedback is just telling people what piece of the writing, how it made you think or feel, or what ideas came up. That can be helpful too, because what you're doing partly in peer review is letting the writer know as the audience what's working for you, right? And it's all about audience, especially now that we're dealing with this kind of targeted argumentation in major essay 2. I would say, looking at the Unit 1 feedback, what I saw in people's comments about the peer review for Major Essay 1 was, "Thank you. I got excellent, excellent feedback from my peers. It was super helpful." And I also saw, "Please, more comments. I want more substantive feedback. I want more critique. I want to know more about how I can improve." So they've given you permission to really go for it. Please do. And I'm encouraging you from my end to please do more by offering 3 bonus points for an additional peer review. I hope you take advantage of that. It's going to benefit everybody. And I'm looking forward to seeing how much more sophisticated and insightful your peer review is going to be in the second paper.